So, for those of you who are familiar, as a part of the conference this year, we had a academic track with the opportunity for people that are doing research in financial planning academia that is either relevant for advancing the theoretical body of knowledge of financial planning or applications for practitioners. We had opened up a call for papers earlier this year and had a number of submissions, which were initially culled down in the first round to 9 papers that were presented here at the conference, and so ultimately we have selected winners for them. And the winners come into 2 categories. We actually separated them into groups for contributions for what we call theoretical research, which is something that will contribute to delving deeper and further research into financial planning that helps us build out the theoretical framework. And then a second piece that we call the Applied Research Awards, which are research insights that hopefully we can actually take away and take home immediately and use in practitioners. And so with that said, I wanted to announce the 2 winners that we had. So winner number 1, who I have to confess I think is not with us because actually had to return for classes, but Sarah Asebedo, who did a study on to leverage or not to leverage psychological implications of mortgage debt and retirement. And what Sarah had found as she got into her research, she looked at some of the existing data that we have about behaviors around mortgage debt and retirement and people's actual happiness and satisfaction. So while we have a lot of research out there that shows things like, not surprisingly, those who have more debt in general and in retirement have a tendency to be a little bit more unhappy. But what Sarah actually found in delving deeper is that there is a surprising distinction between people's preconceived debt beliefs. So whatever views about debt they have built up in their own minds by the time they get to retirement actually has a dramatic difference on this. And people who are very comfortable with debt in general are actually surprisingly comfortable and happy holding debt in retirement. Those who have significantly negative beliefs about debt in general draw very negative experience results and have negative happiness, unhappiness, from the exact same debt loads, from the exact same situations, controlling for all the other financial factors. So unfortunately, Sarah could not be here with us right now because she actually had to fly back for classes, so we can commend her for being a good student. But she wins both the Best Applied Research Award and also a $500 grant. So we'll be making sure that both of them make their way to her. The second presentation we want to make was for the Best Theoretical Research, and the Best Theoretical Research study was Comprehensive Financial Risk Assessment and Goals-Based Wealth Management by Nicholas Carr, who is here joining us. So you can come up. You'll be in picture frame and eternally commemorated. We're live streaming this to YouTube, right? So Nicholas had done some research looking at people's risk behaviors and trying to dissect what their risk behaviors look like, and had found that we can characterize people's profile around risk into sort of 3 broad categories. Their tolerance for risk, which I think a lot of us are certainly familiar with our regulatory environment that we have to measure and evaluate this. People's need for risk, so how much risk do we actually need in the portfolio in order to get to the goals in the first place. And then people's risk perceptions, which is sort of that wild card of, hey, no, I'm not a risk-averse investor. I just think tech stocks are a really conservative thing to own in 1999 because, they go up 22% a year. Why would you not own them as a conservative investor? And so recognizing that those 3 dimensions are all part of how people behave around risk is a powerful thing. And the committee agreed quite unanimously that really opens up a lot of interesting doors for future research into trying to dissect out risk needs, risk capacity, risk tolerance, risk needs, risk perception, risk tolerance, and what we can do with that body of research going forward and explore it further. So congratulations, Nicholas, on your prize. Absolutely. So you can take your plaque with you, which makes sure you give a great one. Yes, so that's theoretical research. And we hope to be continuing this again in future years. This is actually the second time that we've been doing the academic track here at FPA in recent years. This year we did it jointly with Academy of Financial Services, which is kind enough to support as well, and so we certainly appreciate their involvement and look forward to that going forward in the future. So thank you very much. If you want to see more about it for next year, stay tuned. We'll have notices out for anybody who wants to submit again in the future. Thank you.
I feel like someone and one with Sarah.